People of the Valley Isle are ready to share their enduring spirit and culture with the world, but reopening Maui has to be done with respect, responsibility, and compassion, and that is the goal for the Hawaii Tourism Authority's Mākaukau Maui campaign. Now with us on the couch is Representative Sean Quinlan, Chair of the House Committee on Tourism. Aloha, Rep. How are you doing?
Thank you guys for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Right on. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what district do you represent?
North Shore of Oahu as well as Ko'olauloa.
Oh,
so
nice
to me, all the
part.
most beautiful parts of this island.
Absolutely
We have beautiful,
gorgeous.
yeah.
And of course, our Valley Isle Maui is also equally as gorgeous over there. And first of all, we want to thank you for being on the couch with us and making time. I know you guys are busy in session. But as Chair of the House Committee on Tourism, what message do you want to convey about Mākaukau Maui, that campaign, to our audience?
Well, look, there are two distinct populations that we're talking about here. There are the residents who have just been impacted in ways that I don't think anybody who's not from Lahaina or from West Maui can ever truly understand. And then we've got our visitors, who we are relying upon for huge sections of our economy and for our tax revenue. I think the message to our residents is that if they are ready, we want to help them get back to work. But some people may not be ready, and we accept that and we understand that, and we want to give people as much time and as much space as they need, because that's the right thing to do. But for the visitors, we want to tell them that there are portions of Maui that do want the business back. We do have a serious unemployment problem on the island of Maui right now. And we want to get those people back to work who want to work.
Absolutely. Let's delve into that. You have a question
absolutely.
first?
It's so amazing to see people from different sectors of the tourism industry coming together for this campaign. Tour bus operators, we got flight attendants, restaurateurs. Can we talk about the impact that the wildfires had on their jobs?
Absolutely. Before the wildfires, we had about 60,000 jobs that were directly employed by the tourism industry.
And you're speaking specifically for Maui?
Just specifically for Maui,
wow.
just on
60,000.
Maui. 60,000 of the 180,000 residents of Maui
Wow.
working directly for the tourism industry. And we saw our unemployment numbers spike up over 10,000 in the last few months. I think it's come down a little bit, but that's like 17, 18% of our total tourism workforce that's out of work right now. And the real fear is that it's the housing issue. It's that part of the equation. So no job, which means you cannot pay rent. Cannot pay rent. Maybe you have to move to another island. Maybe you have to move to another state. A year from now, the hotel, the business, 2 years from now, it's opening again. Are you going to be able to afford
to come back?
Yeah.
Right.
We've got 15,000 legal, 12 to 15,000 legal short-term rentals on Maui.
Wow.
Think about how many people that could house.
Absolutely. We had Chair Mufi Hanneman with us on a couple of weeks ago, and I like the way that we're kind of like distilling this down to like the level of jobs, because during COVID there was that time that we saw Waikiki was empty and it was so nice for us local people, like we can actually go back Waikiki, but we're reliant on these jobs for our local families to actually put food on the table, right?
Yes, and I think that's something, there's a little bit of a disconnect the last 10 or 15 years between public sentiment about tourism and the reality of what it provides in terms of jobs in our economy. And I understand that disconnect because, again, I represent the North Shore of Oahu. And my son, he want to go see Puapua on a Saturday, and my mom lives on the other side of Lani's. And I got to tell my son, like, let's go see Puapua on Monday, maybe, right?
Traffic.
Because I don't want to sit in traffic for an hour with a 5-year-old in the back seat.
Right.
Well, that's not fun for anybody.
Yeah, baby, how many times you got to listen to Baby Shark? Yeah. Baby
Please, no. You're giving me nightmares.
Right, every time we talk about the Mākaukau Maui campaign, we always talk about respect and aloha for the host culture that steps into the government taking. What are the steps that the government is taking to ensure that our visitors are aware of that important part of the campaign's message?
The Tourism Authority pivoted pretty strongly in the last half decade from being purely a marketing agency to worrying about the effects and the impacts that visitors have on our islands. So those efforts have been ongoing, and we've spent a lot of money, staff time, and resources to put those messages out. But the reality is that not every visitor is going to see them, and not every visitor that sees them is actually going to listen to the message and respect. So we are, this year, moving forward with the Hawaii Visitor mobile app. It's a reservation system for state and county parks, but it allows us to do that hyper-local messaging. So if someone wants to book a reservation at Lani'a Cay Beach Park, the message would say, don't touch the turtles.
Right.
If the site is sensitive to the host culture, the messaging would be that hyper-local, hey, don't throw your opala on the ground, be mindful, be respectful.
I love
and
that.
we can
Love
do
it.
that for every site that we have.
Love
I
it.
absolutely love the pivot that the HTA has made, and with your guys' efforts as well. So, Rep, thank you so much for being on with us. We truly appreciate it. Come back anytime.
You guys are too much fun. Thank you so much. Mahalo.
We are.
All right.
We are.